Okay, let's try that again. Welcome, everybody. How we feeling tonight? Yeah. Thank you all so much for having us out. Super stoked to visit Harriman, Tennessee. My grandfather's got an old school sense of humor. I called him. I said, Pops, I'm going to Harriman, Tennessee. He said, I hope they have a barber. Okay, either you got it or you didn't like it. It's one of those two. Yeah, I also told him, I said, no, Pops, it's Harriman, Tennessee. He said, better be quick. I need to be louder? Okay, is that good right there?
Yeah, we can hear you loud.
Okay. All right, I tell you what, let's restart real quick. Can everybody in the back hear me? All right, bar people, the two that are looking at me, can y'all hear me? Yeah. Okay, the four, yeah. You in the very back with your hand, you can hear me? All right, we're good on the sound. All right, cool. I'm gonna try this again because I was proud of how I started, so let's run it back. I told my grandfather, he's got a very old school sense of humor. I said, Pops, I'm going to Harriman, Tennessee tonight. He said, I hope they have a barber. All right. I said, no, I'm going to Harriman, Tennessee. He said, you better be quick. All right, I love the older crowd. Y'all are awesome, dude. Super, super cool people. Now, I take my dog Willow with me everywhere I go. Literally, she's in the car right now. I took her to Walmart with me one time, and as I was walking through the door, the lady stopped me. She said, hey, you can't have that dog in here. I said, she barks and my sugar gets low. She said, oh, you're diabetic. I said, yeah. She said, what type diabetes? I said, 7. She said, oh, you poor thing. I said, yeah, I gotta go. She said, all right, have a good day. So I did my shopping. I came back out to the checkout area, and the same lady who caught me at the front, she was checking me out. She said, shopping cart looks a little sweet to have 7 diabetes. I said, they're for my kids. She said, oh, how many kids do you have? I said, 7. 7? She said, oh, that is so awesome. I said, yeah, I gotta go there. I said, okay. Okay, we're gonna keep going on that. So, I believe that it's no secret that I have 2 penises. Both the same size, yeah. Both the exact same size. My fiance calls one of them an Audi. Okay, I believe that every guy's been insecure about their penis size at least once in their life. True. It normally happens when they've seen a penis larger than their own for the first time. My moment just so happened to happen when I was 4. So I believe that insecurities are actually a blessing from the Lord. I do. I believe that they're the Lord's way of protecting you when you don't realize you need protection. What I mean by that is, because of that insecurity, I've watched a lot of pornography. I have. A shit ton of pornography. So much so that my fiance, she'll walk around the house and she'll bump her legs into things. Women are notorious for that. They'll show up with a bruise and you'll be like, it's the coffee table. She's like, ah, bump my knee. She said, babe, I have to baby-proof the apartment if I keep whacking my shit. I said, babe, I'm gonna have to baby-proof my phone if I keep whacking my shit. Genuinely, insecurities are from the Lord. And you know what? How do you not believe in God? Genuinely, just a serious question. Do you think that if people said goddamn or thank God, they would say that if there wasn't evidence of God at one point in time? Disagree? Okay, well, allow me. You fucked the dog. Somebody at some point in time messed up so badly. They did. They messed up so badly that another person felt the need to be like, you really screwed the pooch on that one. See what I'm saying? Figures of speech came from somewhere. And that gets me into, how I do believe that being insecure in life has protected me. I think about this one time. I missed an opportunity with the baddie some years back. I did. She invited me over to her house while her boyfriend was in class. She sat on her bed. She had a pink tank top. She was squeezing together. She had these tight little booty shorts on. And she looked me in my eyes. She said, hey, what do you want to do? I looked at her. I said, don't you have a storm shelter out back? She said, yeah. So let's go check that out. I said, okay. So we checked it out. I told my buddy this story. He goes, dude, please tell me you fucked her in the shelter. I said, no, it smelled weird. He said, I don't know if you did or didn't screw the pooch on that one. Yeah. So that being said, speaking of insecurities, I think of this other guy. It's insecurities and fumbles. All right, his name is Chase Williams. Back in the day, my sister-in-law introduced me to her brother, and we became tight friends, real shortly, real brief. But in that brief time, he introduced me to his friend, which was Chase. And that was my dude. I fucked with him. When I first met him, I was like, man, I like this guy. And he's like, dude, I like you. And we were like, dude, let's hang out together. So we did. We started doing all kinds of stuff. The usual that teen boys would do. We would try to put balls in holes, talk about girls and games, the huge. And then he left one day, and I was like, man, I'll never see that guy again. So then I went with another buddy of mine. We went to church one night. It was a Wednesday night. It was the teen class. And lo and behold, guess who was there? It's Chase. I said, oh shit, it's the dude that I liked. Yo. He said, yo. We linked up again. We started hanging out. We started going to Sonic, doing the typical small town activities that most people would do. And I remember making a joke. I was like, dude, I ordered a Coney. And I was like, oh man, a penis came in my dog. And he was like, hey, don't joke like that. I said, we don't gotta do all that. I said, whoa. This guy believes in God. I was like, whoa. Yeah, sure, I won't joke like that anymore, man. I respected him for it. I did. He called me on my shit. So fast forward some more years, I'm in college, and I need a ride one night. The ride that not one night. I need a ride one day. My car broke down. And Reagan was her name. We were in class together. I said, hey, Reagan, I need you to give me a ride. Car broke down. She said, okay. Don't text me back. So that's weird. Why? She didn't reply. I texted her back. She didn't reply. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. She finally replied. She said, please, please, please don't text me back. Do not text me back. I said, okay. That's what I'm thinking to myself. She goes, I'll be there at 6 o'clock to pick you up. Do not text me back. In all caps. I said, all right. So I got ready at 6. She, lo and behold, pulls around. She picks me up. And she's like, hey, I'm sorry I was being weird last night. She said, my boyfriend was just being a little possessive and he didn't like that I was texting another guy. I said, oh, that's horrible. Why the fuck are you dating that guy? She's like, he's insecure. I said, oh. So that's tough. She was like, yeah, he threatened to kick my ass because I was talking to you. And I told him, I said, hey, Chase. He said, Chase? I said, Chase who? She said, Chase Williams. I said, I know that guy. I said, he threatened to kick a woman's ass? So we went to church together. She was like, yeah, like, I don't know what his issue is. I was like, Reagan, you're not even that attractive. She's a little offended by that. My buddies thought she was fine too. I was like, you guys might questionably be gay because of how attractive you think she is. Either way, Chase wasn't very happy that we were going to school together. And that shocked me. I was like, dude, I thought we were cool, man. So whatever, he's upset with me. Fast forward some more years, I'm talking to a new girl. And this new girl I'm talking to, she's dragon wagon. All right, I really liked her. I liked her body, I liked her personality. I wanted to get with her. We're talking back and forth, and then one night, I'm playing video games, minding my own business, my Instagram notification comes on. And the notification I get is from a guy named Chase Williams. Chase Williams sends me a notification that says, I know you've got your phone, pull it out, dial this number, call me. So that seems a little aggressive. I texted him, I didn't call him, I texted him, I said, yo, what's up? He was like, fuck you, Dre, you're always stealing my pussy, and you always get the girls that I want, and I'm sick of this shit. I said, sorry? So I don't know what you're upset with me for. He was like, I'm just sick of this shit, dude. He said, you tried getting the girl in the pink tank top, you tried getting Reagan, and you tried getting an old girl with dragon wagon. I said, the pink tank top wasn't even like a good girl to get with. I found out later from my brother that she started working with my brother. My brother was like, dude, I'm glad you didn't get with her. You dodged a real bullet. I said, how do you figure? He was like, do you know what we call the pink tank top girl that was trying to get with you at work? I said, what do you call her? He was like, we call her sandpaper. I said, sandpaper? He said, no. You heard me right. Sandpaper. I said, why do you call her sandpaper? He was like, because nothing's ever smooth, if you understand the drift I'm trying to give you. I said, I don't. I said, I think I could smooth things over, you know? He was like, Dre, I'm telling you, you don't want sandpaper. I said, shit, all right. I won't go after Sandpaper. Okay, I'm losing y'all on this one. I might have got a little sidetracked right there. Who here is from Harriman, Tennessee? Raise your hand. 3 people? Where the hell are the rest of y'all from? Who's Nashville? You said Harriman. Okay, where are you from? I said, where are you from in Harriman? And then you rose your hand. That's not the same. Holy shit. Are you in school here? Keep going. So that being said, I looked up some facts about Harriman, Tennessee. I saw that it was actually established as an alcohol-free community at one point in time. Shout out bartenders. I saw that it has a population of 6,000 people. As I was coming over the hill this way, I looked at the town. I thought I was in fucking Derry, Maine, the way this town looks. And then I Googled more information about it, and I was like, Cornstalk Heights, this is a Stephen King-ass town. Children of the Corn, Princess Theater, obviously came from the Children of the Corn. Anybody who read Stephen King might know that. I'm not entirely sure. These people on the far left, on his phone, I'm losing that guy. That's cool. I think my doctor's gay. I picked my fiance up, and when I picked her up, I said, Doc, I'm glad everything went cool. How long until we can, have sex? My doctor says, my break's in 10 minutes. Yeah. My buddy Xavier, he was like, dude, you do stand-up comedy. He was like, you know what hush puppies are? I said, of course I fucking know what hush puppies are. He was like, I think that the origin of them has to do with men and women in the kitchen. I said, wherever your mind's at with that. But I Googled it, and he was on the right track. He was onto something. Turns out that hush puppies were a delicate corn treat made whenever people would go on hunting trips. They would take their dogs with them, and their dogs would get loud. So they would throw the hush puppies to the dog to keep the dog quiet. Interesting, right? I said, if it's good enough to keep my bitch quiet while I get some work done. Sick. You don't like hush puppies? Really? What do you like?
What do I like?
Yeah. You like lobster, not hush puppies. It's not the same. I don't know why that shocked me. Where are you from? That explains a lot. Okay. When did you move here?
95.
95. Damn, the year I was born. I'm sorry, I did you dirty on that. I didn't mean to do that. What's your name, miss? Priscilla? Michelle? It's my mom's name. Yeah, no way. Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, speaking of Michelle, you know how you can tell you're gay? If you watched the Fast and the Furious movie and you thought Michelle Rodriguez was attractive, you're probably gay. I remember watching that movie as a kid, and I was like, man, Pops, why is Vin Diesel picking a man up and kissing him? Why is Vin Diesel taking the man to the back to fuck him? Could you imagine being cast in that? Like if I was cast in Vin Diesel's role, and they were like, yo, I need you to go kiss that man. I'd do it fast. I would, I'd get it out of the way. If they were like, I need you to bang that man, I'd be furious. Damn, Michelle, I love you. You've laughed 4 times. Let's go. I'm doing well. Take it. Where are y'all from? Massachusetts, welcome. Why are you cackling? Why are you cracking up? Did I say something or are you laughing at something else? No help there, okay. Let's try another area. Hey, happy birthday to this guy, by the way. Can we get a happy birthday? Yeah! All right, everybody that clapped, we need to get them some drinks. We need to get them some lobster, because they don't fuck with hush puppies. Anybody that didn't clap needs to get the fuck out. Selfish people. It's because it's not their birthday, sir. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? 85. That's 10 years before I was born. You can ask Michelle. 51? Yeah, that's 50 fun to me, man. Graduate high school? Buddy, what do you do now? You play music? Oh, that's sick. That's why you're here. All right, cool. What do you play? What genre? You like rock, country? Why'd you point at her? Oh, that's okay. So if you're in the mood for rap, Buddy will bust the bar down. Are you in the mood to rap? Let's get you a few more beers, all right? We'll get there. Hey, happy birthday, man. That's awesome. Super psyched. 51. A lot of people don't make it that far. Were you going to say something?
I was going to say, too many beers, I'll take you next.
Can you say that one more time?
I'll take you next.
Hey, let's go. It's the chain, right? My fiance said the same thing. I got ready. I was leaving the bathroom. My shirt was off, but the chain was on. I was flexing what I didn't have. It was awesome, dude. Yeah, you already know. You know what to do. So we pull out some more right here. Hey, speaking of my grandfather, hey, shout out servers. I don't know if the servers are paying attention to the show, but shout out servers. Yeah, woo! I served. I've served for 10 years, man. It's a hard gig. A little girl came up there to take our order. She had a long day with one table. I know how that feels, Jasmine. Shout out Jasmine for being awesome. I worked at Longhorn Steakhouse, and I remember meeting this guy, and he was like, man, you got a good heart. Tapped me on my chest. He said, where are you from? I said, Shelbyville, Tennessee. He said, yup, I knew it. I'm new to it. I said, oh yeah? He was like, yeah, your grandfather's Joseph Silva. I said, oh. I said, bro, you could tell? He was like, yup, y'all got the same heart. I said, that's crazy. If you look at my asshole, can you tell me where my dad is? God, I fuck with Michelle and Buddy right here. Yep. And then this guy laughed a couple times too. Yeah. Do y'all work? Do you work? You're retired? That's why I wanted to ask first. I didn't want to just assume because of the way you look. I said, what have you done in life? What did you do for work?
I had my own business.
You had your own business? What'd you do? Remodeling. Nice. All right. How am I doing? Or you need to remodel my set? That's what it needs to remodel my set. That's cool.
I wouldn't get a loan.
What's that?
I wouldn't get a loan.
You need to get a loan? I need to get a loan? I need to be alone with myself and my thoughts is what it sounds like. I like how people are up here doing a show and people are on their phones. I gotta do better, I suppose. Hey, shout out the people that own the place. Is that you, sir? You own the restaurant? Thank you so much for what you do. Have you always been in the restaurant industry? What have you done before the restaurant industry? Truck driving. Shout out Reggie. Reggie's been a truck driver, man. As a matter of fact, DJ Marshall and Reggie met at the truck stop. They said codename Lot Lizards. I guess DJ Marshall's into black guys. That's cool. Diversity. I fucks with that. I have a really bad habit of saying the F word. I don't know if y'all could tell. My brother was like, dude, if you want to get better about not saying the F word, he said just substitute another F word in its place. I said, whoa, smart. So I was at work the other day. I went out to the break area. This guy was smoking a cigarette. And the wind kicked up. And when the wind kicked up, the lit cigarette blew, hit me right in the neck. I said, ah, fag. He said, hey, don't say that. I said, whoa. I said, I was just fagging around. He said, stop it. I said, it's fagged up, ain't it? He said, how many times are you gonna say it? I said, 7. Yeah, Michelle, you appreciated that. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm trying to think of some more jokes that it's crazy how when you get up on stage, you don't realize how quickly your memory can erase, but I need to be better at crowd work anyways. So I'm gonna go to the young crowd next. I did you dirty. I apologize. Nah, never mind. You fucked up. You're supposed to be an asshole back. Yeah! Yeah! Yes! Dude, let's go. What's your name, man? Nick? That's why you said dick, bros. Close enough, man. Love that. How old are you guys? What's the average age group right here? 19? Gamers, sports guys, musicians, baseball, sports. I sucked at baseball. Love it. I have great hand-eye coordination. I really do. But, like, I don't know how y'all do what you do, man. What's the fastest pitch anybody's ever done? We got a pitcher?
92.
Dude, holy shit. That's like 7 short of Aroldis Chapman, right? Is it way less short of Aroldis Chapman?
I'm like kind of a Lotus Chapman.
You're not black. Aroldis Chapman. Dude, I love stand-up comedy. Let's go. I love that. Miss, what do? Do you have a job? You go to school? Nice. Where do you go to school for? Teaching, teacher. You should stay here in Harriman, where the median is low. You'll do well here. Thank you, April. Appreciate that. Sir, what do you just took a bite. Never mind, I'll come back to you. Ma'am, what do you do for a living? Janitor, you clean shit up. Can you clean my act up? Okay, that's gonna help. We're gonna get the remodeling guy, the janitor, and the teacher. We're gonna remodel, clean up, and teach my act. How does that sound, everybody? Right, yeah. Love that. Love that. Hey, beer tower people, we got 4. The lady that just got up. Not paying attention, that's fucking rad. You're looking right at me in the black. With the pink band. Don't be bashful, yeah, don't be shy. What do you do for a living? I'm gonna go through this whole damn restaurant, y'all. Yeah, what do you do? Case management? Dude, I'm gonna build my career tonight. I have a case for you. That's sick. What is that into, like, detective case or like? Hey, I'm sorry. Dude, sick. That's close. My fiance is an ABA, and they're kind of disabled, I guess. So, y'all are cool. I fuck with y'all. What do you do? Thank you. I'm sorry, ma'am. I fag with y'all. Appreciate you, Nick. Good looking out, buddy. Do you mind saying it again, miss? Hey, dude. You're worth like $76,000 a year. I hope you know that. Yep. I know it. Yeah. Thank you, fiance, for teaching me the things. Dude, I'd go back to you again, but you just took another bite. Do we have any volunteers? I love talking to people. Does anybody want to share anything about themselves? Whoa. Okay. Strawberry bread? Brandy? Rain. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Like REIGN? You guys rain on people? Okay, so strawberries that fall from the sky. Where the inspiration for the hair? Beautiful, love that.
And then we have a full band called Strawberry Jam.
Strawberry Jam?
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick. What are some of your song titles? Do you have any songs that you've recorded? Just do covers. Okay, what's some of your favorite bands? 7 Inch Nails. Size matters.
Oh, 9 Inch.
I missed that too, dude.
Hey.
Size matters, bro.
7. Put it in my head.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, 9 Inch Nails. What's another band?
What is it? Queen.
Weed?
Queen.
No, I heard you. I just wanted to talk about weed. Queen, nice. Okay, so Bohemian Rhapsody.
Beatles.
The Beatles. Can't miss the Beatles.
Zeppelin.
Beatles had Yellow Submarine. Do you guys do Red Submarine in your cover? You do Strawberry Submarine. You should. 7. Dude, I fuck with you. Happy birthday, dude. Happy birth year. I love it. All right, let me try to. Yes, sir. You in the blue shirt. Finally. You look like you've been waiting to take another bite since I've been pointing at you. What do you do for a living? One more time. You work in here? We have nuclear power in Tennessee? No shit. Dude, where does the waste go? I thought I saw some strange looking fish in there. Dude, I told you, this is a Stephen King ass town. Alright, the nuclear waste is gonna change all the people here. They're gonna
Harriman School. Where
Harriman School?
the waste is.
Yeah, he would know, man. The Harriman School where the waste goes. Okay, what's the inside joke there? There's a reason both of you jumped on me. Okay, so not an inside joke, it's just a fact. Okay. Nice. So you're new to this area from Nashville. Born and raised in Nashville? Nashville, a unicorn dog. Let's go. Hey, here's something. Can we all collectively say fuck most Californians? Okay, thank you. Is anybody in here? That's why you fuck most Californians. That's why you fag most Californians. One of those chairs is for me, dude. That's crazy. Do we have anybody from California in the crowd?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, they left, they dipped out. All right, sick. Does anybody have any questions for me? I'm an open book, I'll share anything, literally anything. Anybody want to talk?
Where are you from?
I'm from Shelbyville, Tennessee. We're known for walking horses.
Do you ride horses?
Does my fiance count?
I'm telling her you call her.
Please don't.
Dude, you're screwed.
It's true. Well, technically she is, but yeah, that's fair. What other questions do we have?
How long have you been doing comedy?
This is my first time.
Really?
No, I've been doing it 6 years.
I was like, holy shit.
Dude, I was well for a moment, right?
You were cool.
Dude, hell yeah, but then you got 6 years and you're like, this guy sucks, man. Good stuff, thank you. 7. You're gonna go home with that, dude. That's the point of the joke. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Hey, I'll tell you all about my job, my last job, real quick. So I work in a factory, and my boss, he was walking me around the areas, and he was like, "Man, this is trans-assy shipping." I said, "I'm not ordering nothing from you." He said, "Trans-assembly." I said, "Trans-assembly?" I said, "They're waiting for me?" I said, "No, I'm good on that one." He said, "Transmission." I said, "Transmission? They want to send me a message. Tell them I got Bell South." Thank you, April. He said, "Let's try a different area." I said, "I bet." He goes, "So this is Jose Assy water." I said, "Jose Assy water? I don't want that." He said, "It's not even spelled with a J." I fucked that joke up. I meant to pronounce it Hose Assy water. Thank you for laughing anyways. I appreciate it. You, in the blue. Yeah, buddy. What do you do? Hold up 1 second. Am I going too long? Am I still good? What do you do for a living, sir? Store manager. What store? I need a washer and dryer. Fuck yes. What do you do? Fag yes, dude. Damn it. Hold that thought. Nick, I got you, bro. We're gonna get gamer tags and play MLB later. Huh? Do you work at Electronic Express? Clock his ass, April. Did you background check everybody in here? Because we're gonna get them. You missing the green dress. Hairdresser, I can tell. Beautiful hair. Yeah, absolutely. It looks great. How long you been doing hairdressing? Oh, what a career. Are you from the area? Nice, New York. Okay, that's cool. So, New York, 16 years, been here 6 years. Dude, you're like 21. That's awesome. Sick. Ma'am in the white shirt. Why do people keep looking behind you? What do you do for a living? You retire, you do nothing? Do you want to do stand-up comedy? All right, I'm gonna retire too. Hey, thank you guys so much. I had fun doing this. I appreciate y'all coming out. Thank you. Let's give it a big shout out to DJ Marshall for hosting such a great show. Let's give a shout out to 51-year-olds. Let's give a shout out to April. Yeah, the fagging 51-year-old. Yeah. All right, thank y'all so much. Appreciate you, DJ.
Yes.